Packer and Durham on a Friday. Guys, right here on ACC Network.
You got it.
I'm ready to roll because tonight,
let's go.
The Duels are back on ACC Network.
Come on, put it on.
Love it. What?
Put it on.
Hold on a second. NC State in the house tonight. NC State's on there.
Yeah.
So let me get Pat on here real quick. Hold on. Let's get the coach on. Coach, let me tell you something. It's time, right? We've been waiting for the Duels on ACC Network. We got postponed last week because COVID got us with the North Carolina-Virginia Tech match, but it is go time tonight. And right after the radio show, I'm going to have my little glass of bourbon. I'm going to put this on right here, and it is time to rock, baby.
You'll be ready to rock. Well, you're missing one thing, though.
Yeah, I'm missing. No.
I'm going to be sending.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
This is coming in the mail. So the next time we meet up, this will be one of you's got to be wearing this next time.
No.
Hey, Coach,
you want to talk
something.
about viewership. You want to talk about viewership.
Hey, let me just tell you something, Coach. I just got this. Let me tell you how quick news travels. I just got a text from my wife, and she said, if Pat sends that to the house, there is no way I want you running around the house with that thing on.
Put that singlet on with a little bourbon, you'll be all set.
You know what? It's going to take more than a little bourbon to get me in that thing. I'm going to tell you that right now. There's certain things in the world that you should not see. That would be me in a singlet. I can assure you that. But I am excited
That's good stuff.
about watching your boys tonight. Now, I know you guys have got to be thrilled to death. It's like it's time to get back to work, right?
Yeah, definitely. You go through a whole year where we're not really competing, and then you give these guys an opportunity to go out there, showcase their skills. The energy level is real high right now and the focus, and guys are just thankful to be competing week to week right now. So, yes, it's been a very exciting time.
All right, Pat, let's be honest. This has not been easy for anybody, but for you guys, and we've touched base with Mekhi Lewis at Virginia Tech. We've talked to a couple other guys. I mean, this is it's one of those things where you just kind of got to hold your breath here a little bit, right? I mean, how's the week going, the preparation leading up to these duels? What's it mean to then have a chance to compete for these guys? I mean, because it's as intense. We found out during football, talking to football folks, it's as intense getting ready as sometimes it is to compete, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot more obstacles you got to jump over, and the focus for everybody's got to be there as a team. You don't know who's going to be called up. You got 35 guys here at NC State on our roster, and all 35 need to be ready to go. Wake up every morning as a coach, and you gotta see who's on the list with the COVID test and making sure everyone's passing it. And literally, as far as this morning when we got our results back, we know we can throw our 10 starters out there because of the situation we're in. So you need everyone focused, the weight, everyone making weight at the same time. So there's a lot of that. There's a lot that goes into it with getting guys prepared here for a dual meet on a Friday night. So we're just, again, excited to have our 10 starters ready to go against a really good team tonight.
All right, listen, you're fourth in the country. The league is really good. We've got 4 teams in the top 15. What do you think will separate this team from all the great teams you've had in recent memory?
I think it's going to come down to the discipline and focus. I mean, we got another challenge outside the room now. Your lifestyle has got to be real discipline, as far as what you do outside practice and school. We're asking a lot out of our guys to make sure they're staying away from family and friends. It's difficult to do. Thankfully, these guys can call and get on Zoom calls and FaceTime, but that's the biggest hurdle right now. When we're in our room and we're training, things are great. It's as soon as you leave, there's a whole new element to this. And luckily, we got a real disciplined team who wants to do some big things this year, and they know they got to do the right things outside the room, and they've been doing that, and that's why those guys are able to wrestle each week right now.
I know you guys beat Virginia last week, 23-9 in Charlottesville. Pittsburgh comes in ranked number 12 in the country. You guys are 4th. I looked down the card here a minute ago. I think there are 3 ranked matches tonight. Take us through what kind of night you think this could be.
A lot of good high-level wrestling. Anytime you get some of the best guys in the country at individual weights, you're going to get some really good wrestling, good intensity as far as the team goes across the board. every match is going to matter. When you're wrestling two ranked teams, every match, an upset could really change the outcome of a duel. So, at the same time, you don't have a lot of opportunities this year to wrestle high-level guys. So when you get a chance to wrestle a ranked opponent, you got to take advantage of that, whether it's our team or another team. Every guy's got to be ready to compete because we're so limited on competition. And we're in a good spot as far as the conference because we have really good guys at all weights with all the teams that are doing a great job in the ACC right now. So it's going to make us all better.
Pat, we've talked to a couple wrestlers already from around the conference, and it's been interesting to hear them talk about how they had to stay. You talk about the discipline, how from their weight perspective, just mentally being sharp. Wrestling's a different sport, right? It's not like, hey, let's get some guys together, go out, play some basketball, whatever the case may be. Wrestling's a whole different animal. What did you have to do from a coaching perspective with this particular team in terms of the quote-unquote off-season while there were so many unknowns and the fact that mental discipline more important now than ever before once you get away from the facility?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the guys didn't know when we were going to start competition. I think, you're seeing a lot of different sports right now. You're 2 weeks out and then you get a schedule. So that was a little challenging at first. I think the ACC did a really good job of being out in front of that and putting a schedule together for us starting in January. We were able to get some of these matches in with Gardner-Webb, App State. And then it's keeping the guys. Normally in November, December, we've got 20 matches under our belt, and right now I think guys have 4 or 5. So you had to get them a little more match ready in practice. We had to get creative with some of the workouts we're doing. And then obviously you got the weight element to all that. Your timing of what you normally have done in years past is different. So it took a lot of brainstorming. We've got a great staff here and some people in the wrestling world you talk to and you adjust, adapt. And I think we have a really good plan moving forward to compete at a high level in the next few weeks. And we're going to need it with the teams we've got to compete against.
Well, you mentioned the next 3 Fridays you guys are scheduled to be on ACC Network. Next Friday night against Carolina and in 2 weeks against Virginia Tech. All 3 of them are ranked. I'm not surprising you with those stats, but I think people would be surprised to know just how strong from a national perspective the ACC is right now, Coach.
Absolutely. Coaches in our conference have done a phenomenal job. The guys that are competing in it, obviously we got guys at all weights that can compete for a national title, and I'll rival the ACC with any conference in the country right now. We don't have maybe as many teams as a lot of them, but I think the talent and what we need to win nationals for a team in the conference is coming real soon here.
Pat, for folks that will tune in tonight, and they've heard us talk about the Duels last year because it was so much fun to watch it on ACC Network, and maybe they're like, all right, I've heard Pack and Wes talking about these guys. Let me turn this thing on. When they turn it on tonight, give me 2 or 3 matchups that you as a coach are intrigued by where you say, hey, listen, these will be matches for folks that maybe not wrestling experts, they don't follow the sport, but you can now hook people and say, guess what? This is exciting stuff every Friday. Give me 2 or 3 matches tonight that you're looking forward to.
I think 41, the way those guys have wrestled in the past, there's always fireworks. Those guys pretty familiar with each other. They're putting points on the board, and I think when you got 2 guys that score a lot of points and wrestle aggressive, you're always going to see some good wrestling there. I like to think 84 right now. They got a guy that moved up a weight class, won the ACCs last year, and we got a guy that's ranked pretty high as well. And both of them, again, I think people want to see aggressive, exciting wrestling when points are, whatever sport it is, you want to see offense. And I think that's what's going to make this dual meet really good is both teams are aggressive, they put points on the board, and people want to see that. And you want to see falls as well. And I would expect there's some weights that maybe you might see some bonus points, and we'll let it play out. But I'm excited to watch the guys that have those ranked matches because, again, we're not going to have a lot of opportunity this year to wrestle high-level guys. I think 33 is one of those weights, too. They got a really good guy, and I like where we're at with Jarrett Trombley, and he's got a challenge ahead of him tonight, and I want to see how he steps up and performs.
Well, you mentioned the ones that are all ranked for sure. At 133, you meant Jarrett Trombley and Mickey Philippi, I guess, for Pitt, who's number 4 in the country in that weight class. The 84, we know how good that Hayden Hidley has been for you, but Trent must be having a pretty good year too, huh?
Yeah, he's coming off a surgery he had a couple weeks ago. He had his appendix removed, but he had a really good off-season, wrestled some big matches, senior level guys, and won, but has been out for a few weeks and finally got him back last week, his first match, and some time getting back on the mat. But I'm looking forward to him. Anytime he's in our lineup, he brings the confidence and the energy and the fight that we need as a team. And when you have tonight we'll have our A team out there, so it'll be good and exciting to finally put all these guys on the mat together and showcase, the body of work these guys have been putting in over the last several years. Go from last year to this year, we didn't graduate anybody, so these guys have been together for quite a while now. So it's exciting to see them compete.
Pat, you started this interview by bringing out the singlet that Wes Durham looks forward to wearing at some point in time on the show.
No, he doesn't.
I'm gonna. There it is, right there. That's got Wes's name written all over it.
No,
right
that's
there.
got your name written all over it.
That's going in the mail today.
So I want to end the interview on fashion. All right, we've been watching all these ACC men's basketball coaches go from wearing $5,000 suits to the sweat pants and everything else. And again, we saw a video of last year. Man, you were always dapper on the sideline. So do we stay dapper or do we dress down a little bit during this pandemic? What's the game plan from the coach from the fashion perspective?
You'll just a pair of socks that we'll be throwing on, so we'll tune it up a little bit.
Hey, I got one for you, Pat. Here's the deal, and I like the coat and tie deal, even with the gator. But I have one small request. Before you put the singlet in the mail to us, okay? I want you to stop by your athletic director's office and ask him if that's a good idea that you send that to us. Because he's known both of us a long time, and I think he's going to vote no on our behalf, don't you, Pack? I think he's going to say that'd be a waste of the material.
Yeah, I think the first thing Boo Corrigan would say is, "Hey, we're on a tight monetary budget, and I don't want to spend 55 cents putting that thing in the mail."
I'll get his permission. I'm sure I'll want to see you guys. He'll sure want to see you guys in that singlet.
We wish you the best, man. It's good to see you guys back at work.
Same. All right, appreciate everything.
You bet. Pat Popolizio is the wrestling coach at NC State. And don't forget, the reigning champs, the Wolfpack tonight, number 4 in the country, welcome Pittsburgh to Reynolds Coliseum. Yes, I see that. Looking forward to it. And our coverage of Friday Night Duels starts at 6 o'clock.